Okay, so if you're American, you're probably wondering, okay, I want to move to Spain. I've seen lots of people do it, but what do I do for work? How do I support myself? What type of jobs are available for me? Well, let's go over the options. Stay tuned. Hello YouTube, welcome to Kai's Foreign Adventures. I am Kai, and first off, if you hear any background noise, I apologize. It is hot, so I have the window open. So I don't know if you can hear any of the noise outside. But anyway, in this video, I want to talk about jobs that are available to Americans, jobs that are easy to get, okay? So I don't want to talk about stereotypes, but okay, in the US, there are certain groups of people that gravitate towards certain jobs. Foreigners, for example, taxis. A lot of them are Indian. Or you go to the nail salon and, well, I don't go to the nail salon, but when I would go with my mom, you will see a lot of Asian people. So have you ever thought about what Americans gravitate towards when they are foreigners in another country? Well, we do have our little niche, and that is teaching English. There are so many Americans that teach English overseas, and I am one of them. Usually when people see that you're American and you live here, they automatically assume you teach English, okay? So why is English so attractive to Americans? Well, because it is your language. And when you live here and you want to teach English, you don't speak Spanish while you're teaching, or you're not supposed to. Many schools will tell you, no, only speak English. So if you don't speak Spanish and you want to find work, teaching English is a very good option. There's a few things you need to know about this. Number one, there's a lot of competition because there are a lot of English people that come and teach English as well. That's one downside, the competition. However, contrary to popular belief, Spain is one of the countries in Europe with the least amount of English speakers. So English is very high in demand. So if you think that everybody speaks English, this is actually not true. I learned this the hard way because when you don't go to any tourist area, good luck finding English speakers. Most of my friends don't even speak English, but they watch my videos. They tell me because it helps them learn English. Así que amigos, si estáis viendo este video, os quiero. Okay, so anyway, the other downside about this is that, well, people are more likely to hire British people versus US people. Now, the reason why this is because in Europe, there are a lot of countries that are part of the EU, the European Union, and they have an agreement with each other. So countries like France, Portugal, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, and as of right now, England, the whole UK, but once Brexit happens, they will be in the same situation as us, Americans. Basically, what this means is that anyone in the European Union can travel to other European countries and live and work and won't have to do a ton of paperwork to get a visa like us, okay? This is one of the reasons because a lot of schools don't want to do the paperwork to hire an American when they can just get someone from England. But if they do want to hire you, they have to explain why they chose you over an English person, for example. So that's something else that's a little bit difficult. However, because English-speaking people are so wanted here in Spain, there are many schools that will hire you. They don't even care. They're just like, just come, we need teachers. You're wondering, okay, well, I don't teach English. I've never taught English. How do I teach English? There are many schools that will help you. Usually the schools last for a month, and because you need what's called a TEFL, TESOL, or I think the other one was called CELTA. There's a bunch of them. But anyway, this means that you are qualified to teach English as a foreign language overseas in pretty much any country, okay? Now, most schools around the world, Spain included, you have to be American, Canadian, English. I think some will allow you to be from South America. I'm sorry, not South America, South Africa, but I don't really remember. Then some require you to have a bachelor's degree or higher and at least 2 years experience. So in Spain, because so many people were desperate for teachers, they were like, I don't care if you don't have experience, I'll hire you. You have an American accent, I'll hire you. It's very common. When I lived in Madrid, my first job was teaching in a bar, okay? I think I mentioned this in my How I Learned Spanish video. Teaching in a bar, I went for a language exchange, they offered me a job. They didn't even ask me for my credentials. They just said, can you just teach conversation classes? And they paid me and they gave me free beer, okay? Also, other options are you can teach in your house. You can give private lessons. I gave lots of private lessons when I lived in Madrid, and it was pretty easy. I put an ad up and they came to my house, or I came to their house and gave lessons. They told me exactly what they wanted to learn, and it was easy. So if you go to school to get your teaching certificate, they teach you how to speak English. I'm thinking in Spanish. They teach you how to teach English. It's almost like you're learning English all over again. The next hurdle is getting a visa. You know why that it's unlikely that they will sponsor you a visa. However, you need a visa. What do? There are plenty of options for this. One, some of the schools where you get your teaching certificate, some of them offer programs to help you. For example, the one I went to, they will help you get your visa, but it's a student visa. So what they do is you have to take classes with them, usually Spanish classes, and it's part-time, but this will allow you to work also on this visa. So you can do that, and then after a year, you can renew it without even going back to the US if you wanted to stay. Okay, so that's one option. Another option is language programs that will make you a language assistant. Okay, there are tons of them, and usually you can't pick where in Spain you want to go. They usually pick it for you. They do all the paperwork for you. They say, okay, you're going to be working in this school, and then you get your plane ticket, and then you go. So that's another option. The easiest option that I also did is teaching English online. There are tons of companies that will teach you English. Today is just not my day. There are tons of companies where you can teach English to kids in Asia, and they all have different hourly rates, and there are a lot of Americans that have done this. They have taught online, and they also taught in schools. When I was in Madrid, I was also teaching online. The company, I believe, was called ABC 360, and a friend of mine who did the same thing recommended me this. And I did it, and they deposit the money into your bank account. All you need is a computer, a headset, and an internet connection. And with this, you can basically teach anywhere in the world. It doesn't even have to be Spain. So that's another option. The good thing about teaching online is that they will give you the curriculum. You don't have to plan any lessons. They say, here's the curriculum, and just follow it. And then you can usually pick your own schedule, but they do have slots that they need to fill during peak hours. So I remember for me, I had to get up really early in the morning to make the peak hours. But other than that, you can make your own schedule. It's pretty flexible. So that's about it as far as options. One other thing. When you get your teaching certificate, the school will actually give you tons of information on how to find jobs. They'll give you lots of sites. They will help you with your CV because, we do a resume. The CV is a little bit different. They will give you a format, everything you need. They will give you a format on how to make flyers. They will tell you how much you will be making on average, not only in Spain, but anywhere in the world, okay? So if you didn't want to teach in Spain, you wanted to teach in another country, you can do that also. There you have it. Those are the options. And it's pretty easy. I was actually very surprised, but I do know that some people had a hard time. In my experience, I didn't. I taught online, then later I started working in a language school and a public school. And for me, it was a breeze. But it also depends on where you want to teach. I recommend teaching outside of Madrid and Barcelona because yeah, there's lots of work there, but the competition is also higher and those places are a lot more expensive. So just think about that. If I were you and you wanted to do this, I would teach in places that no one really goes to as far as Americans and English people. There are certain places in the south of Spain that need English teachers. They have zero. When I went to Tarifa, they were like, oh, we need an English teacher, we need an English teacher, because they virtually had zero teachers. But there are places like this all over Spain. So that is all that I have. If you have experience with this, if you are an English teacher in Spain, feel free to drop a comment, okay? If you have any suggestions, drop a comment. I'll leave some information in the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe. With that being said, I will see you in the next video. Hasta luego. Ciao.